And a continuation of the picture boxes. And this was on Mount Woodside, just out in the Fraser Valley. And yes, it looks like smog was a problem even then, 20 some years ago, 25 years ago. Oh, I know where that's the Harrison River. That's Mount Woodside, the west end. There's a little Thunderbird TMY 45 and a Link-Belt 4300 C-Series excavator set up for loading, combination machine. There was a feller buncher working, looks like an old timberjack. And just a visit. That was on the north face east side of Vedder Mountain. Someone else's timber sale, I think it was 6,000 or 7,000 cubic meters. More of the same. Like, how twisted you gotta be to go out and take pictures of clear cuts. I used to walk them too. I'd go there and looking at all the fallers, looking at the stumps, how they'd cut. You can tell so much about the kind of work that was done just hoofing it through a cut block. You can see if they took pride in their work, if they were lazy or sloppy or damaging wood or hitting stumps. Or you could look at each undercut, see where they aimed it and how careful they were being. I used to just study that stuff. But that was their little yarder, Mid-Hill 071. More of that old wooden sawmill before it got wrecked. I got to try it out. That was a company called Foreman's at a Boston bar. That was also on Vedder Mountain. Mid-90s, probably 94, 5, 6, 95. It's a mixed sale, half hardwood, half softwood. Yeah, had a little bit of involvement and just a bit with that sort of. That was local. That was a Medill 09 tower getting dragged way up into the top of the mountain. That's me when I was young. See, I had my fin and cat jacket on. That was 1993. Oh, there I am again. So, it's no secret. I'm not being an idiot. I'm not a picture person. That was that job. There's a Barco 550 there. One of the ones with the sliding side door. It was one of our own jobs on a side hill. That was a loader. That was a friend of a friend's. We got to use it a little bit. We'd do a bit of logging or we brought some firewood over to this place on our truck. So we got to use that to unload it. That was the old Kodak 110 days. That was, man, 1984 or 5. What else we got? Reaching over the hill. I had a guy down there setting chokers. He gave him like 60-foot choker hooked on that. That's myself. That was me. That must have been 1992. That was at the Forest Museum in Vancouver Island. Even then, that's a bubble nose, early, probably 1961, 2, 3, D8. I don't think the H's were bubble noses, but so that had the hydraulic pump stick out front, a little more fragile. But I thought that was a pretty good looking piece even back then, 30 years ago to be sitting. This was a Pacific, not a Pacific truck and trailer, just a Pacific. It's called a dragon wagon. It was some sort of armored carrier used in World War II. Apparently they get 2 or 3 miles to the gallon. This was in my neighborhood. It was roaring, yeah, 2 or 3 miles an hour as well. It was roaring down the street. I passed it, and there was cops, RCMP had it pulled over, and they were furious. So obviously he had no permits. I know where he was going and where it ended up, and it sat up there for a while too, but that was also, oh man, shoot, doesn't say, does it? Oh, 1996, December. That was fun. You'll never see that sight again. Maybe in the States you'll see yarders driving on the roads, but around here you won't. So yeah, that was a highlight of life there. A guy in his old tin hard hat, aluminum hat there, bombing down the road at about 2-3 miles an hour. And the cop he had him back this thing up about a mile, and then they parked it over here at this intersection across from a school. So I came back and got a picture of it. That was history there. Shot from Vetter Mountain, which doesn't mean anything. I'm sure a few of you will go on Google Maps and see where that is. That was a trip to Vancouver Island in 1992. Summer of 92. I was actually on my honeymoon. I got married that year, so how's that for twisted? Okay, dear, how about we find where the log and sort yards are on the Vancouver Island at Shoal Island there? How about we sit there in our car and I'll take pictures of log trucks while they go by? I kid you not, that was the absolute truth. That was our 270 when I got it brand new. Oh, new to us. It was an 89. We got it in 94, had it all decked out and put our guarding on it and put a lot of hours on it. They were good machines, those things. Oh, what else? I got buckets of these things. I should pull another pile out. That's me standing in front of a big windfall. So like, where's Waldo? There he is. That was a big Douglas fir, probably 3.5 feet across. Shoot, I haven't pre-screened these to see what they are, so go with color ones. Now these are like my avatar pictures I use, or one of them is. So that was a good day. I had a little pumpkin patch of those big ones. And I'll stay hidden. Not that it matters, but put my undercut in. Man, I miss that stuff. Man, you could go to the Chinese food restaurant on a night like that afterwards, and I kid you not, you'd eat 3 full plates and a 4th one that had 1 or 2 of your favorite items and still have some jello and fruit for dessert. And what an honest life. That timber falling was just a buzz. Just loved it. It was just awesome. That link belt that burned up on us in 97. I was looking into the cab. Melted the engine. Those Isuzu 6 BG ones are phenomenal engines. They were around for decades. The Dash 1 Hitachis, right up through the 90s into the C-Series link belts. John Deere should have put them in their stuff. But selective logging, clearing. The eventual the fire department. That was another cut block, just going for a drive. That was a company called CNL Logging. They had a big timber sale. So I had to go up and look. What else do we got? That was our dump truck. I told you about propane explosions before. Yeah, we did wheelies with that thing. We hauled stumps, cleared land with it. We got it kind of for nothing. It just sort of ended up in our world. Someone bought it, parked it at our place, never used it, and kind of signed it over to us. So we had some pretty good laughs with that thing. So. The old original little link belt. All that is I'm hooked on a big log or something with my tongs, and I was able to lift the back end of the machine out. Just being an idiot for the camera. So. There was Dad back in our early log hauling days. And that's not the middle finger, that's the peace sign. So. What else we got? I got lots. I should be screening them first, so I'm not wasting you guys' time. Let's take a handful. That's a cool truck. That was 1993. Down at the Inner Four, the log sort yard. That was a local truck too. I didn't know the guy or of him. I think it said Burgess, West Burgess or something on the side of it. That was just wild. Big old steel Pacific, butterfly hood, running around here. That was the end of that era. Water on the brakes maybe even. Yeah, line loader link belt LS98 sitting on a big Skyline setting. And how could anybody not enjoy the view from the office in that occupation? That was a load I threw on a Kenworth 849 high above Harrison Lake. Ties in with previous pictures. This was at Big Silver River on Harrison Lake east side, back when there was still a logging camp there. It was it G&F logging, like that envelope I showed earlier. It's their shop in the background. Yeah, that was cool too. So you'd eat your dinner and go out at night and just sit there in the yard, look at everything that rolled in and was being worked on. It was just like being in the sandbox all day long. Play with them during the day, walk around them at night, and talk to the other drivers and operators. And quite the color combination. So, you know how you get that color combination? You roll your truck over there once every couple of years, so, and they bone it back together with stuff out of the marshalling yard. Someone else's timber sale. On the yarder it says Cattermole Timber, which is long gone. It was a big company, but that was not their yarder at the time. Now it's called a step-up landing, where they use a 45-foot tower instead of a 90, but they're still getting 90 feet worth of lift by sitting up on that ledge. This was looking down from the rigging. There's 3 drops on the butt rigging. Main line scabbed to the haul back for extra lift. That's called a scab line. That was a poor quality timber sale, but probably a neat job. You can see it was half hardwood, alders and maple and birch, and a little bit of fir and cedar in there. And this was the loader they were using. You'd never see one of these running anymore. A Detroit diesel powered Barco. They must have been a real stable machine. They had what was called a chap track on them, which was, if I understand, was a self-expanding tracks, like expando tracks. So I could actually narrow them in for moving it. Yeah, to give him my eye teeth at that age to be that guy running that one. And there I am leaning against it, but there's their whole landing. The fur doesn't look too bad there. Probably lots of limbs on it. Pretty limby and tapered quick, but good size. And that one on Mount Woodside, that combination machine. All right, I'll stop here and start another set.